about that.
All right, with us right now, we have from this end over Johnny Kinziger today. Johnny had 11 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Bowden had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and Tyreek Coleman 24 points, tied for 21st most in a game by a freshman in school history, and the 9th time this season in the country that a freshman has scored 24 or more points in a game. Nice. We'll take questions from the group.
Tyreek, first off, just an impressive performance again. 2 games in, kind of a little bit of a breakout game for you. Just coming into this game, was this kind of a performance you were expecting, or you're always kind of on this game?
I wouldn't say a performance I was expecting. I just kind of went out there and played my role. Right now, I think I've been a spark off the bench, even in Game 1 in Ohio. At times, with us starting off a little bit down, come in and just kind of add a little spark off the bench, and it got going. It came in today with points, and I was just able to get to the rim well. They wasn't able to slide over and get to the line early and then knock down some shots.
Tyreek, as aggressively as they were playing defensively as you were before you got in, were you looking at maybe there will be a chance to drive to the basket as aggressive as they're guarding on the perimeter?
Yeah, so what I like to watch for just in these first 2 games is just kind of how they're guarding these guys at the start of the game. So our first 4 possessions we came out with 3. So our coaches always tell us and come down to us on the bench, us guards, and tell us we just got to get some stuff through the paint. So that was my goal to come in, just to kind of try to play downhill. And it ended up working out. I was able to get down there, get fouled, and it kind of opened up our offense, I think, allowed us to go on a good run.
What was it like for you playing in front of the home crowd for the first time?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, all last year I've got to enjoy and meet a lot of people. So it was good to finally put on a show for all the people that I've met, and it's a great community, and it's about time. It's been a while.
Johnny, kind of the slow start to get up. What did you kind of feel was kind of working in that second half?
Yeah, you said that we had a little slow start, but our bench really picked us up, I thought. Tyreek scoring the ball, and then other guys just doing the dirty work, getting rebounds, diving on the floor. And in the second half, I think we just all relaxed a little bit. We got our team's best shot, and we just went from there.
Johnny, the first game at Ohio, it's only 1 game, but it's still the first one. What kind of mindset did you guys carry into this one because of that game?
Yeah, obviously it didn't go how we wanted it to. But at this point in the season, it's all about can we get better. Obviously we wanted a different outcome, but are we getting better is the big thing we're looking at. And so we knew we just had to move on. It was about this next game. It was a big one, first home game. We don't lose at home. So, that was kind of our mindset coming in.
Johnny, what is it like? Because your freshman year, you kind of played the role Tyreek had. Then last year, it was sort of Jack's role. What does it mean about the impact of a freshman that can sort of take over a game?
I think it's huge just having that energy plug off the bench. But just playing your role. I think our team does a great job of playing their role and helping us win any way we can.
This kind of relates to all 3 of you. Obviously, Cornell, first game, they shot the lights out of the ball, 3 of you guys. What was kind of the preparation? Obviously, kind of held them to like 17% from the three-point line. What was the preparation and practice for those three-point shooters?
Don't let them shoot threes. That was kind of the thing. I mean, yeah, we watched that game. They were getting them up, and that was kind of our scout. Just no early threes, and their main guys like 8 and 31 who were great players. We had a good scout on them, and I think we executed well as a team.
Anybody else? All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Thank you, guys. Robert?
effort, holding Cornell to almost 40 points under what they scored in their opener. Can we get your thoughts on the game? We'll take questions from the group.
Okay, guys. First of all, I have great respect for Cornell. I think they are really tough team to guard, really tough team to guard. And, of course, coming off of a game where they scored 102 points, that had our attention. And our defense wasn't where we wanted in game one either. So I was proud of our defensive effort today. We had some interesting combinations out there. I think it's obvious. I'm trying to feel this out a little bit and figure out what combinations and what situations will be best suited game by game. I think we'll have that kind of team. I think we can have the type of team that has a different leading scorer a lot of different nights, a different leading rebounder a lot of different nights, and a different leading assist man on any particular night as well. So I think tonight sort of proved that, and I was proud of some individual efforts, a handful of them. Brandon Lieb, 10 rebounds, that stands out to me. Bowden Skunberg's attention to detail defensively stands out to me because Norad's a hard guard. 31 is a really hard guard coming off at 34 points at Kent State. He's a very good guard. I think he'll be a Player of the Year candidate in their conference. And Bowden, I thought, did a very, very impressive job tonight. I also thought Landon Wolf, he stood out to me on a couple of those rebounds, and he just played. He didn't think. He wasn't out there thinking. He was out there playing and reacting and trusting his God-given instincts. He's a very good player, and I was impressed with him. And, of course, Landon Moore coming off the bench. I thought he gave us a lift as well on both sides of the ball. So that's not to discount anybody else. But there were some individual efforts in there that we are going to need, and that I think, like I said, I think we will have the type of team that. A little bit like a Rubik's Cube, you're trying to figure it out, and I think the sooner we can learn about our team and figure those kind of things out, obviously, the better off we'll be. But we have potential depth on this team, and that excites me.
Sort of going off of that, do you think you're going to stick with the 5 you have now to start, or do you think you're going to mix some other guys?
Yeah, I think it'll be to be determined. I think the things that I think about, okay, I know the guys that can score. I know the guys that can shoot. I know the guys that can do, some of the other things. For our program to make a jump from being relevant to being, contending for championships. It's going to be on the defensive side of the ball, defense and rebounding, defense and rebounding, defense and rebounding. And Pat Riley had a quote that I love: no rebounds, no rings. So I need guys that are going to rebound the ball every single night. That's important to me. They know that on both sides, offensive and defensive. And I need consistent defensive effort, right? That's attention to detail. That's high-level effort and intensity. That's being disciplined. That's being able to play through fatigue, all kinds of different things. But those are the things that I think will separate guys. And the reality is I think we can get that from every guy on our roster. I do. I think a little bit right now you see some inconsistencies in those areas with guys. And, they know where they stand with me. There's no, hidden secrets or agendas. I don't call guys out publicly. This is a family. And I've challenged, like Brandon Lieb, I've challenged him on the glass as much as any player that has been in this program in our 4 years. And that's why it's like, man, it could almost bring me to tears to see 10 rebounds on his box score. That's awesome. And really, I'm very proud of him and happy for him on this night. Now let's go do it again. And I thought he played maybe his finest game as a Redbird tonight.
What does this win mean for you guys heading into the West Coast game?
We'll see. I think this time of year your progress is going to be defined by your daily habits, right? What kind of practice are we going to have Tuesday? That could probably better answer that question, right? I think games give you proof for players especially, right? Proof of what they can do, what we can be, what we can become. But the real stuff that lies beneath the surface, that stuff's earned every day in practice. So we've had some good practices. I don't think as consistent as practices that we need, though. championship level effort comes from championship level detail and effort in practice, and you don't just show up on game night. So yeah, I think our practice habits can get better, and our intensity, all that kind of stuff can get better, and that's on us as coaches to demand that. So it's not been bad. I just think it's not been as consistent as it needs to be. I'm just being honest with you. Yeah.
And what did Tyreek do in the first half there to help the team change the momentum?
Oh, he's something else. Tyreek in the first half when he came in, and I forgive me for not mentioning Tyreek. I should have mentioned him first. What a game he had. What a game. What a game. He single-handedly changed the momentum of the game early on, and it was his speed, his quickness, and his athleticism. Yeah, I should have mentioned Tyreek first. He changed the whole complexion of the game, and we didn't start off real good, real well on either end of the court, mostly offensively. And we'll have to take a look at that. Why is that? Because that's, truthfully 2 games in a row that we haven't started to our potential. And I thought Tyreek just lifted us. Yeah, he lifted us with the energy and just attacking the basket. I think it was pretty obvious if you were here, just the visually what the game looked like. It looked different when he was in there, and yeah, I thought he had I thought he was poised. I just thought he played very poised tonight. And this is a game against Cornell that things can get very chaotic, and it can turn into long stretches of chaos where they're pressing and they want you. In my opinion, I think I was telling our guys they want to play very, very fast. They want to shoot a lot of threes, and a lot of those threes come off of one or two passes, and they sort of bait you into playing that way or potentially playing that way at your end as well. And not that I wanted to slow it up, but I want to play on our terms. It was very important to me that we run. If we're going to run, I want to run on them. I don't want to just run with them, and then it turns into their kind of game. And that's what they're really good at. And I think we fast break probably more than they did tonight. So I'm glad. I want to run on them, not necessarily just with them, how they wanted to play.
Coach, defensively, obviously you mentioned Cornell, 102 points. What was kind of the scouting like defensively to kind of get in the shooter's spaces and hold them 6 for 31 from the three-point line?
Yeah, it starts with your ball screen and dribble handoff coverage. Kent State's a great defensive program. They defend a certain way, and they hard hedge everything. They're going to show 2 to the ball. They're going to force you out towards half court and then force you to make plays in space. And I think what that did on film, I thought that opened the floor up, and it played to Cornell's strengths in their half court, right, offensive half court, because it ignited their passing game, and they were on fire. I mean, they hit 14 threes in the first half, 19 threes on the game. Impressive, really impressive. So it started with our ball screen coverage. I thought our attention to detail, maybe on some things that we learned from that game. It was hard for Kent State. They didn't have any film on this team for Cornell. So I know going in, they had 2 closed scrimmages, so they had no film on this team. And, we were able to benefit from the film, even on a short term. We were able to benefit from seeing that film and sort of tweak some things from the way that they did it. But they won the game too. They just, they outscored them.
Coach, USC, a big team coming up. What kind of adjustments would you guys hope to kind of make between today and this week?
Yeah, I, in terms of adjustments, I don't know yet anything about them really, other than what's on the periphery that maybe I've seen or read preseason. But I told this to our team after the game, and it's easy to get. We all want to win. You want to win every single game. Okay, it's easy to fall prey to the highs and lows that the early season can provide you, right? Like, we're all trying to find ourselves right now. There's a lot of teams out there that are trying to do that a lot more than us. We do have more, there's more pieces and tinkering than I think the media has portrayed. Like, we have these guys coming back. We do, but we also had 2 guys that didn't play last year. We also have 4 freshmen, 2 of which now we are going to redshirt, okay? 2 of which now are going to play for us as well. I'm excited about Mason Claybo. He's a guy that didn't play as many minutes today, but he factors into our plans. You saw what Tyreek Coleman did. Some of the guys returning are taking on different roles than they had last year. So what I'm looking for is daily improvement, okay? I know that sounds like coach speak, but when you're coaching young guys and you're in a team setting, you know, where are you taking their minds? And that's what I try to do is continue to keep them on, are we getting better? And if you look at as bad as we may have felt and as murky as some of the moments were in our 2 exhibition games, I'm thankful for those, okay? I think you saw improvement from game exhibition 1 to exhibition 2. It wasn't for 40 minutes, and that really pissed me off, okay? But I got to keep this big picture perspective. And then you see from exhibition 2 to game 1, was there improvements? Yes, there was. Was it the result we wanted? No, it wasn't, okay? But this time of year, to answer your question, what sort of adjustments? It's really not about adjustments right now. To me, it's more about the process. And are we getting better daily, and are we learning more about our team? I was able to learn a lot more about our team through those 2 exhibition games than had we played 2 Division III opponents. And it's not always fun going through that, but that's what we set out to do with this schedule. And if I'm being real honest with you, that's what we set out to do. So we got to be big picture mindset here, have a big picture mindset, and just continue to get better each day and learn more about our team, and then continue to evolve. Like, I think some guys' roles will change from what they were last year because this is what this team needs. And that's part of the fun in it all. I just kind of see it as a Rubik's Cube, and we're trying to find that right now. Yeah, not because not because of any injury. We're so excited. I'm so excited about that entire freshman class. It's a 4-man class. All of them are going to be, if they stay here and are Redbirds for the long haul, I think this would be has potential to be a legendary class. Okay, but they're all on their own journeys here, and Nick and Isaac are both going to redshirt, and both are very motivated by it. It's not something that I don't think they're looking at as anything that's discouraging. They're motivated by it, and their families are in full support, and I think that's awesome because you don't see that as much in this era, and it will pay them back in the short term, but I think in the long term as well.
Can you talk about what the plan is for Chase when he gets into foul trouble?
Yeah. Is we got to help him. You know, a lot of his. I'm gonna look at this after the game, but how many fouls tonight? 4, 3. Let's see. Personal fouls 4, and he had 5 last game, so 9 fouls. I'm gonna bet you 6 of them are off the ball, and I think probably 4 of the 9 are very unnecessary. Right? Some of them he's a physical guy, and that's going to happen. Right? But I think my plan is to keep teaching him, right? Get him back to being high attention to detail, and understand there's going to be some frustrating moments for him because he is the center of every scouting report coming in. It wasn't that way this time last year. So everything is around him, you know, first, he and Johnny first. It just is. But when you have an interior presence like that, I think the focus goes right to the big guy, and you kind of build off of that for most college teams. So I think we got to just keep working with him. Yeah, I don't want him to get discouraged by those fouls, but at the same time, there's some moments in both of the first 2 games where it hurt us because, you know, he was in foul trouble. It changed the complexion of the game, unfortunately, and you know, I think we've managed it pretty well. I think Brandon Lieb's done well, and some different guys have stepped up. But yeah, I think Chase, the look he gives us when he's out there, and he's healthy, and you know, it's hard to guard. It's hard to guard.
What else? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.